Happy Monday, coming off a 7-3 week 15, and we got Monday Night Football. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I'm your host, Steven, and we are here to talk some freaking football, baby. That's right, it was a great week 15 for us. 7-3 on this channel. We will talk about all those bets in just a little bit. We have a winner in the $50 giveaway, so stay tuned. It is in the head-to-head bets, and I'm smiling because it was someone that was on my side, obviously. That was a nice little winner. Our NBA video for Monday will be out soon, so don't worry. I know NFL videos come out, and some of you guys only care about NBA, but it will be coming out. But in this video, we're going to recap Week 15. We're going to go over that head-to-head bet real quick. We're going to talk some NFL takeaways, and then we're going to preview the Monday Night Football game between the Philadelphia Eagles and my struggling Seattle Seahawks. So hit that like button, leave a comment below. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. We're trying to reach 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I think we can do it. This community is freaking awesome. Every like, every comment helps other people on YouTube see this channel, so we really appreciate it. But I'm ready to get into it, and it starts with the bets recap. All right, let's talk our Week 15 bets. We got the Rams team total over 27.5. That is a winner. If you look at the scoreboard and you see 28, you say, oh, they barely won. Well, they had two fumbles, including one in the red zone. They missed a field goal. I mean, it should have easily gone over, but we'll take it. Giants +6 was my bad read of the day. I trusted Daboll, and this Giants team. Their offense was horrendous. Their defense wasn't very good. They just got crushed by the New Orleans Saints. Bills money line, the best read of the day. Holy smokes. We're going to talk more about that a little bit later. But the Bills put an absolute beatdown on those Cowboys. And then the Trends parlay. We were trying to get 3 wins in a row, and we did not. Under 34 in Carolina, Atlanta. They could have played 14 quarters, and it still would have went under. That was a winner. But the one loser was early on Saturday morning, under 7.5 in the first quarter. Minnesota Cincy, they scored 10. And then the Bears +3, that was a push. So we would have had still a decent win if that game stayed under 7.5 the first quarter. So hit 2 or 3 legs, not terrible, but it was not a win. Then Ryan's bets. He's heating up, baby. 2 in a row, under 50.5 in the Dallas Buffalo game. That was a nice, pretty much no sweat winner. Anytime touchdown. I told you I absolutely loved it. I put a unit on this one for a reason. Deebo Samuel touchdown +100. He scored, I think it was their first touchdown, maybe their second, but he is just a stud. He's a touchdown machine. Nice winner there. And then player props, 2-2 on Sunday, 3-2 overall when you count the Thursday night winner. But Ezekiel Elliott, over 19.5 receiving yards. You know what? He didn't get as many as I thought, but he still went over 19.5, so that was a good winner. Dak Prescott, under 273.5. That may have been the easiest bet. Between that and the Bills, guys, if you notice, we had 3 bets in the Cowboys and Bills. We had the under, Ryan did, easy win. Bills money line, super easy win. And Dak Prescott under 273.5, maybe the easiest win. Like 3 no sweat winners in one game is not easy to do. I was a little worried about having 3 bets in it, but that was nice. It all worked out well. This next one was probably the most frustrating. Puka Nacua over 64.5. Guys, he had a catch in the fourth quarter. Well, it should have been a catch on third down. He's running across the field. If he turns that upfield, I think he should have 15 more yards. And he dropped it. He went to the sideline, hung his head. He couldn't believe it. He doesn't drop many passes, but it is what it is. Cooper Kupp had a bigger day. Nacua only ended with 50 yards. Harrison Butker under 2.5 PATs. If you watched our video last week, you know that I said my only worry is if the New England offense gives the Chiefs a touchdown. And guess what? Bailey Zappi threw it into the chest of a Chiefs player. He returned it back inside the 5-yard line, and they obviously scored. It was practically a pick six, and that was one of their only 3 touchdowns. Otherwise, it would have only been 2. Would have had a winner. So we got screwed by it. But you know what? That's part of football when you know you have a bad offense like the Patriots. And then of course Ethan Stick. We already talked about it. He went over the pass yards on Thursday Night Football. Man, what a weekend, that's for sure. So nice 7-3 overall. Let's go to the next page. That is now our overall record for the year. 34-23 for me, up almost 10 units. Ryan's making a little bit of a comeback now. 6-9, down 3.47. Anytime touchdown bets are getting closer back to even as well, down 2.03. But the player props, just like in the NBA, they're crushing it for us. 37-25, up 12.31 units. Trends parlay up 9.16. Again, we do not count those as official bets, but they've done pretty well if you've been tailing them. Overall record 89-74, up 16.25 units. I said I wanted to get to 20, and then we'll work from there, and we are almost there. So let's keep grinding away. It's been a good last month of the season for us. Let's finish strong. But before we get into the Monday Night Football and all that, let's talk the head-to-head recap. All right, let's bring in Ryan and talk a little Lions and Broncos, baby. What an absolute beatdown that the Lions just put on the Denver Broncos. I am on a freaking tear right now in this head-to-head bet. I'm crushing him. Ryan, what do you have to say for yourself?
I agree with Sean Payton. He was yelling at Russell Wilson and pissed off and all those things. I hate Russ, so I'm on board with Sean Payton doing that. The Broncos couldn't do anything at all. Nothing. Didn't stop the run. Jared Goff went off 5 touchdowns. Just freaking embarrassing. My bad, guys. I let you down. If you went Team Ryan, I am sorry. You definitely should have went with Team Steven. Steven was right. I am a loser. That's how you spell the name.
Oh, that's great. That's great to take the blame for. That's called accountability, by the way. And you know what I love about that game? Being a Russell Wilson, well, at least being a Seahawks fan when we had Russell Wilson, he had a head coach in Pete Carroll who was his absolute best friend. I mean, he catered to him. You hear all the other players, Sherman and all those guys, after now that they're retired, say that they were the best friends and they couldn't touch Russell. He got all these special treatments. And now he's in Denver getting absolute ass chewed by Sean Payton. I freaking love it. You know what? You want it out of Seattle, and that's what you get. You get a lot of crap, is what you get, honestly. And he struggled. Their defense really struggled, though. I mentioned that I thought Detroit was going to run the ball. How about 185 rushing yards? Detroit did anything and everything that they wanted. Every time you think that they are down, they absolutely dominated. It helped that it was at home. I'd like to see this more from Detroit when they're on the road, but 42-17. Ooh, baby, that was beautiful. But you guys want to know who the $50 giveaway winner is. That's right. First of all, thank you to all the Team Steven supporters. You guys are awesome. You guys know what's up. But anyways, the winner of the $50 giveaway is at Dylan Healy 9008. There it is, baby. That's right, Dylan. Congratulations. Appreciate your support and appreciate everybody really for just commenting and just being a part of it. These are a lot of fun. We'll probably do one more before the end of this season, that's for sure. But that was fun. Just like the Saturday game between the Lions and Broncos was also fun. I like those no sweat winners. So, anyways, I'm crushing Ryan. He's struggling. He sucks. No, I'm just joking. That's all I have to say. But you know what? He made up for it because he got that winner in the under in the Cowboys and Bills game. So good job there. But anything else to say about that game?
Not about that game, just about all the comments. Thank you so much for participating. Ton of fun, like Steven was saying, and that's what we got to do.
Yep, it's been awesome. So, all right, that's the head-to-head bets recap. And now let's talk some NFL takeaways. All right, before we get into that Monday Night Football preview and best bet, I got two takeaways for you. And this first one, if you are a Dallas Cowboy fan, plug your ears. That's right. I'm sorry to say, but this is the same Cowboy team we've been seeing year after year after year. They get your hopes up, but they have nothing but a first or second round exit waiting for them at the end of this season, just like always. They look very average on the road this year. We're going to break this down a little bit too. I do think they're a good team. I'm not going to sit here and say they're trash or anything like that, but I'm just saying for those people that think they are a Super Bowl team and America's team and everyone's so excited, it's just not happening. At least in my opinion, it's not. Let's just say this Cowboys team finds a way somehow to get to the NFC title game. Do we really think they even have a 1% chance of going into San Francisco and winning a game? Like, just no chance at all, guys. There's just no way. San Francisco, I think it was in no, it was in San Fran already, and they got an absolute beatdown already. So let's just talk about this team. Home offense, 39.9 points per game, like we talked about. Number one team at home. 303 passing yards per game, the number two passing team at home. Then you go on the road, averaging 21.71 points per game on the road. If you don't count the defensive special, or if you count all the points in regards to defensive special teams touchdowns. Now, I went back and I took away some of the defensive, like interception return for touchdown, punt return, just to see how their offense alone is doing. And defense is a part of it. I get that. They're averaging 17.7 offensive points per game on the road. And I may have even missed one or two, to be honest with you. So now, home defense. They are giving up only 15.4 points per game at home, number three in the league. Now, on the road, and this is where it gets a little crazy for me. They've given up 22.7 points per game. Okay, not that terrible, and that's still good. Obviously, that's above average. That's a good defense. But when you break it down, and I'm breaking this down for the playoffs because you're not going to be playing crappy teams in the playoffs. 4 road games versus the Giants, Cardinals without Kyler Murray when they struggled, the Panthers, and the Chargers. Okay, 4 not good offenses. Chargers were okay here and there, but other than that, guys, the other 3 may have been the 3 worst offenses we've seen this year. They gave up 14.5 points per game to them. Those are 4 road games. Then they played 3 other road games against the Eagles, Bills, and 49ers. Those are the type of teams you will be seeing in the playoffs. You know what they gave up? 33.66 points per game. That's not even good. That's not even average, guys. That's terrible. So they are just going to have to pick it up. I'm not here to just hate on them. I know it sounds like I am. But if you want to make a Super Bowl, you have to win 3 or 4 very, very tough road games. And it's not going to be easy because these guys can't even beat one good road team or good team on the road right now. So like I said, I think they're a second tier good of teams. They're below all the really good teams, maybe even third tier, especially when you get on the road. But my question to you is just leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about what I'm saying. But also, who do you trust more? This is an interesting question: the Lions or the Cowboys in the playoffs this year? That's right, and those are 2 teams that have been very good at home, but a little bit different when it comes to the road. So, anyways, that's my takeaway number 1, all about the Cowboys. Now, let's switch it up a little bit. Takeaway number 2. Offensive lines are really ruining NFL. And we may have talked about this a little bit earlier this season, but there's a reason that scoring is at an all-time low this season. It's because these offensive lines are getting worse and worse. Did anybody watch the Titans game? Oh my gosh. It was terrible. It was like 90% of plays Will Levis was on his back or was getting hit as he threw. It was just terrible all over the league. You can't score consistently when you don't have a good offensive line. You're seeing that all over the league. Teams that dominated offensively this weekend, the Lions, their O line absolutely crushed the Denver Broncos O line, and that's why they scored 42 points. Another team, how about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Anybody watch that game? They manhandled the Packers, that offensive line. You know what that allowed the Buccaneers to do? And this is the Buccaneers offense. It isn't very good either. They're okay. They allowed Baker Mayfield to throw for 381 yards and 4 touchdowns. It's amazing what a good offensive line does. Rashad White ran for 89 yards and they scored 34 points. Guys, O-line, this isn't probably new to some of you guys, but my question to you is, and this is why I like to do these takeaways and just talk to you, what do you guys think the issue is? Leave a comment below. Why are offensive lines struggling so much more in the NFL? And this isn't just this year; it's been coming now for a few years. In my opinion, I think one of the issues is college football. I think the offensive linemen coming from college football are playing in spread offenses, and they're just kind of quarterbacks get rid of the ball, spread the team out. It's not that physical NFL brand of football. Some schools do, like Michigan and things like that, but there's a ton of schools that I just don't think they're the way they teach blocking and everything are great for the NFL, but you never know. There's more to it than that. That's just an opinion of mine. But leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Why offensive linemen are just massively struggling this year. So, anyways, those are my NFL takeaways. Thanks for letting me rant and just talk some football. I love to do that, not just talk bets all the time. So that's what we got. And now let's preview the Monday Night Football game. All right, we got the Seattle Seahawks hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles are -3, over under 45 points in this game. Against the spread, Eagles 7-4-2, 4-2-1 on the road against the spread. Seahawks 7-5-1 ATS, 2-3-1 at home. That's right, the Seattle 12th man. It's just not working. The magic is gone at home. Over under, Eagles 7-6 to the over, Seahawks 7-6 to the under. So nothing big there. Let's talk some notes about this game. Eagles coming off an absolute beatdown by the Cowboys, and the Seahawks coming off a decent beatdown by the 49ers and their 4th straight loss. It is just bad in Seattle right now, that's for sure. But here's the hard part about betting this game. Now, I do have a best bet for you because I have to, and I want to give you guys something, but we got 2 quarterbacks questionable. So Geno Smith did not play last week. He is questionable again with a groin injury. Drew Lock would start if he does not play. It's not a huge drop off, I don't think, so that's not as big of a deal. But Jalen Hurts is questionable. He has an illness. And from my sources, his illness got worse on Saturday night overnight, so he had to fly separately from the team. I mean, that's huge, guys. Marcus Mariota coming in or Jalen Hurts. I'm not a Mariota guy, never have been, but so we'll see on that. So just keep that in mind. If you want to wait to put any bets in until it gets closer to game time, you hear more. That's not a bad idea at all. But Seahawks, 6th worst third down defense or offense in the league. Eagles are the very worst, dead last in third down defense. So that's going to be an interesting little matchup there to see if the Seahawks can get some first downs or what happens, because that's 2 very big weaknesses by those teams, that's for sure. But But we know the Eagles, what they can do. They give up a ton of pass yards. They stop the run at an elite level, and the Seahawks don't really do a lot well right now. Let's face it; they're about average in a lot of categories, below average in other ones. They had a great run defense beginning of the year that has fallen off quite a bit lately. So, but let's talk best bet. It's the same game parlay. It's an alt line parlay, and the big reason I'm doing this is because you know what? I think it's a little safer when you got two quarterbacks that you don't even know are playing. So here we go. AJ Brown, 60 plus receiving yards, and Tyler Lockett, 40 plus receiving yards. We're gonna go with it now. If Marcus Mariota is the quarterback for the Eagles, be careful. You don't know what he's going to do. You don't know if he's going to just struggle mightily. You don't know if he's just going to be hitting the tight end. You don't know as much as we do about Jalen Hurts. So I took the alt line. I'm still going to take it either way, but that would just be my only thing of caution there. So AJ Brown 60 plus. He's a stud. We know that he's just an absolute beast. Last 2 weeks, 114 and 94 yards in those two games, and those were against the 49ers and the Cowboys in Dallas. 17 catches on 26 targets in those last two games. I mean, it's been unbelievable. He's a matchup proof guy. He's one of the best in the league, as you guys all know. And he's got a pretty good matchup. Seahawks giving up the 13th most receiving yards to wide receivers this season, and they've really been struggling lately. Last two games, 149 yards to Debo Samuel, 126 to Brandon Ayuk. Yes, that's right, on the same team in the same game. And then 116 receiving yards to CD Lamb. AJ Brown's number is around 80 something. I'm taking it down to 60. And like I said, the big reason I'm taking these down is just in case Mariota plays. I think this gives us a little more room for error. So, but he has hit 60 plus receiving yards in 10 of his 13 games this season. Seahawks also struggle to get pressure on quarterbacks. It's been a massive struggle. It's frustrating to watch Seahawks games as a fan and just see the opponent's quarterback just sit back there just comfortable as all can be. And that's what we do. We make life easy on the opposing quarterback. So I think AJ Brown should easily get to 60 plus. If Hurts plays and is on his game, he could have a chance to get to 100 yards. So that's the first leg. Second leg, Tyler Lockett, 40 plus receiving yards. He's on the Seattle Seahawks. I feel pretty good about this, whether it's Geno Smith or Drew Lock. In the one game last weekend with Drew Lock, he had 6 catches for 89 yards versus the 49ers. So he was obviously a favorite of his. DK Metcalf had 2 catches, and Lockett had 6. So he looked his way a little bit more. It doesn't mean it's a guarantee he does this way, but he's hit this in 8 of his last 12 games. Lockett has, and he has 14 targets in the last 2 games. So I mean, he's been involved in the offense. Lockett's a guy that finds ways to get open. He has great hands, and now he gets an absolutely great matchup. He faces the Philadelphia Eagles. We talked about it before. Philly gives up the second most receiving yards in the entire league to the wide receiver position. They've given up 2,519 yards to wide receivers in 13 games, an average of 193.76 yards per game just to the wide receiver position. So his line is at 52.5. I took it down to 40 just to be safe. Again, maybe Drew Lock plays, maybe struggles a little bit, so it's a little safer for me. But let's hope Jalen Hurts plays and Geno Smith, but especially Jalen Hurts because we need that one. So give me AJ Brown 60 plus yards, Tyler Lockett 40 plus yards as my best bet for Monday Night Football. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. That was a lot of fun talking some football. Thank you to all the new Jabo MVPs. We'll give you a shout out in the NBA video, which will be coming out shortly, so we appreciate it. But thanks for everybody who likes these comments every day, who leaves a comment, and for all you new guys, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the channel. This community is freaking awesome. So hope everyone has a great Monday, and we'll talk to you soon.